Welcome. In this video, we will introduce you to the InLoox settings. Let's get started. To access the settings, click on your profile picture in the bottom left corner. The settings are divided into two sections. First, let's take a look at the user-specific settings under My Profile, which can be customized individually for each user. Here in the Settings tab, you can set a profile picture and select your preferred language. When you scroll down, you can manage your password and set up two-factor authentication for added security. Here you can also connect your Microsoft 365 account and use it as an alternative login method for InLoox. Once connected, the standard email password login will be disabled. Additionally, your Microsoft account serves as the foundation for other functionalities, such as processing emails or calendar entries within InLoox. Once your account is connected, you can grant specific permissions for these features. Now, let's take a look at the second section, the account settings. This is where administrators configure essential database settings that affect all users. Without administrator rights, you can only make certain adjustments under the Personal menu. There you can choose your time zone and set up how often and which email notifications you would like to receive. This allows you to control which notifications are relevant to your role in the project and avoid being overwhelmed by unnecessary emails. Under View mode, you can choose between the split view and full screen mode, depending on your preference. If you have administrator rights, you will see additional menu options on the left side. In the Account section, you can change the account name and set a default time zone and default language. Under User Management, you can see the total number of licenses available, how many have been assigned, and how many are still available. You can control whether users are allowed to invite other people to InLoox and, if necessary, restrict invitations to specific email domains, such as your company domain. It's also possible to force all users using their Microsoft account as a login method. Only administrators are excluded. Further down, you will find individual users and their access rights. There are 3 access levels in InLoox. No access. The user cannot log into InLoox. Read only. The user can log in but only has viewing permissions. This license type is free in all InLoox editions. Read and write. The user can fully interact with InLoox. This is a paid license. By default, the Read and Write license is automatically assigned to all invited users if automatic license distribution is enabled in your account. Once all purchased user licenses have been assigned, newly invited users will automatically receive read-only access. In InLoox, user permissions can be managed in detail. A person's viewing and editing rights in InLoox are cumulative, meaning they build upon each other. Each user receives global permissions and additional permissions based on division and role-based access rights. Since this is a bit more complex topic, you can find more details in a dedicated video. In the Organization section, you can configure general organizational settings. Let's go through the key points together. Under Currency settings, you can define the number of decimal places and select the currency symbol, such as the euro or dollar sign. To ensure that project and task progress are automatically calculated, it is recommended to enable both progress tracking toggles. You can set a default time tracking limit, allowing users to backdate time entries up to 30 days from the creation date, or adjust this value as needed. If you are using Outlook functionalities in InLoox, the following settings may be useful. When you store an Outlook email in InLoox, for example as a task or document, a category label InLoox will be assigned. If you track an Outlook calendar appointment as a time entry in an InLoox project, you can choose to automatically add a prefix, for example, tracked, to the Outlook calendar event. This helps you instantly identify which calendar entries have already been tracked in InLoox's time tracking. Let's get to the privacy settings. To continuously improve InLoox based on user needs, sending telemetry data can be enabled. This does not mean that all telemetry data from all users will be automatically transmitted. Instead, each individual InLoox user can decide in their personal settings whether they want to share their telemetry data. Additionally, AI support can be enabled to use certain AI-driven features in InLoox, such as the AI Task Assistant. InLoox uses project categories to help you better structure and organize projects within a large portfolio. Examples of categories include new business, key project, or recurring project. You can create categories that make sense for your organization. You can define various project statuses that apply to the entire InLoox account, like open, in progress, completed, or canceled. Each project status is associated with a progress percentage. The different task statuses appear as column names in the Kanban board. These statuses can be defined globally for your entire InLoox account and usually include the status to do, in progress, and done. However, you are not limited to these predefined statuses. You can customize the Kanban board columns globally for all projects or individually within each project. With groups, you can set purchase and sales prices for different departments or job roles. These pricing settings can be applied to time tracking for specific tasks and used for billing purposes. They also serve as the foundation for your financial planning. By default, InLoox provides 3 budget statuses: accepted, open, and rejected. Only open and accepted financial plans are considered budget relevant by default. This means that rejected budgets are value neutral and are therefore not included in budget calculations and will not appear in budget reports or dashboards. In the divisions section, you can set up a global department structure for your company. This helps you better organize projects and manage employees. The skills section allows you to quickly find contacts, especially when specific expertise is required for certain tasks. In the tab Working Times, you define the standard duration of a workday. It's essential to have a consistent understanding of working hours, regardless of full-time or part-time schedules. For example, if one employee works 8 hours per day, while another works 4 hours per day, the part-time employee would require 2 workdays to complete an 8-hour task, whereas a full-time employee could finish it in 1. You can also create multiple work schedules to accommodate part-time work, shift work, or other work arrangements. Additionally, you can enter days off like public holidays to ensure accurate scheduling. In the Numbers section, you can define the format for project numbers. Lastly, in the rightmost tab, you can set up budget plan templates and budget line item templates to standardize financial planning across projects. In the Customers section, you can enter all your customers. In the Numbering tab, you can define the composition of the numbers with prefix, suffix, etc. Moving on to the Notifications section, you can set the default notification frequency for the entire account. Users can either follow this default setting or customize the frequency individually. You can also decide whether external contacts without a login should receive notifications. Additionally, you can customize email notifications by adding your company logo to the email header. Under Documents, you can define where the central document storage is managed, and for example, integrate SharePoint online. In the Custom Fields section, you can create custom fields for your projects and all related functionalities listed here. This allows you to tailor InLoox to your needs and meet specific organizational requirements. Lastly, under Integrations, you can connect your Microsoft Office 365 business account to synchronize contacts and calendars with InLoox. Define which Outlook appointments should be excluded from resource calculations to prevent them from affecting workload planning. Choose the calculation mode for calendar availability. Lastly, you'll also find the download links to the InLoox add-ins for Outlook and Microsoft Teams here. If you would like to learn more about the settings, you can find all the information on our website at inloox.com.